turns on the light.
Huh? Gee, I don't know about you, but I just get a great big lump in my throat every time I hear it. It's wow, 43 degrees on the old Camp North Star weather dial.
Thanks for calling.
Okay, no problem.
Field. Nobody can do what we can do, and that's what we're giving them. We're giving them a level playing field, and maybe more than that, that's okay too. But they just want a level playing field.
The earth is flat.
And for 44 years,
The earth is flat.
Nobody can do what we can do, and that's what we're giving them. We're giving them a level playing field, and maybe more than that, that's okay too. But they just want a level playing field.
Still the right thing to reach for. And there's no us, there's no them, there's no them.
It's not a pretty face, I wonder who she hung around this place. Nothing is forever, it's got to be something better than with a midnight. I see the sun up ahead at the county line, there's nothing left, she hit the end, sister window ledge. Smells of cheap wine and cigarettes. This place is always such a mess. Sometimes I think I'd like to watch it. Down in the garden while I let you go. Up on the surface, the earth looks around, but it's a godless city of cold flat ground.
The earth is flat.
This flat and trouble shapeless earth. What stretches further than further? This flat and trouble shapeless earth. What stretches further than further? No love like our love, I know till that's curse. You hurt the ones you love, but we couldn't do much worse.
These coordinates like this, you'll see that it's almost a perfect triangle.
The earth is flat.
I want to ask you a question straight out. Flat out, I want you to give me the honest answer.
The earth is flat.
Flat. The earth ain't flat. Flat over flat, like they say it is. Flat. Well, that's quite true. A watertight The thing argument. What I say to people is, I'm not propounding any kind of watertight theory.
I mean, you're talking about this album saying there's not a lot of stuff that's set. They say nobody knows. And actually, the more you think about that, the more you think about all the millions of experts we have on the telly every night or everywhere telling us how to do it, and a year later they're wrong, or they're out of office, or the world isn't flat after all, or the world isn't flat after all. He knows, and that's the way I like it, just so nobody knows. And we've called it Frozen.
But I discovered that the people who love are what we need if we get up above it all. And that's that, unless the world is flat.
Or the world isn't flat after all.
Right? How about one of these nights, one of these crazy old nights, I'm gonna find one pretty mama that turns on the lights. I've been searching for a woman who's a little of both, right? He's singing about a woman. I've been looking for the daughter of the devil himself. I've been searching for an angel in white. I've been looking for a woman who's a little of both. And I can feel her, but she's nowhere inside. Ooh, right? The Eagles singing about a woman who is the daughter of the devil himself. What in the world is going on? And all this nonsense. It's like all in our face.
Of course they think the earth is flat.
In Denver, there are ads taking over the airwaves and billboards going up along the highways. Take a look. So-called flat earthers.
Oh, what a surprise! Of course they think the earth is flat. Of course they think the earth is flat. I mean, it makes me want to slap someone. Of course they think the earth is flat.
老铁们，你们总说我拍段子不够拼，我今天就拼一次给你们看。有人？你怎么搞的你？哎，拍错了。
Where is the curvature? Where? Where is the curvature? Where? Where is the curvature? Where? Where is the curvature?
No shadow at all. That's perfectly easy to understand, provided the Earth is flat. If the shadow it's... that also makes sense on a flat Earth. But how could it be? Eratosthenes asked.
Where is the curvature? Where?
We do not embrace the public school system troll.
Alexander. The only answer is that the surface of the Earth is on a flat Earth. But how could it be? Eratosthenes asked.
Public school system in control.
I'm an elk, a mason. What did you make of the Kyrie stuff?
I don't. It's true.
What?
The Earth is flat.
Shaq, what are you talking about?
The Earth is flat.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's
yes,
not.
it is.
No,
Listen,
it's not.
There's three ways to manipulate the mind: what you read, what you see, and what you hear.
Okay.
Conspiracy.
In school, first.
Public school system in control.
Thing they
indictment on that.
I'm just saying, when I drive from Florida to New York, flat. New York to Seattle,
it's flat. Not flat.
Seattle down to LA, flat. LA back to Florida, flat. It's a,
okay, here's...
it's a square. That's what it is.
We're free and equal, or so they tell us.
Alexandria. The only answer was that the surface of the Earth is flat.
Where is the curvature? Where? Where is the curvature? Where? Where is the curvature? Where? Where is the curvature?
Flat.
On the flat Earth.
It's flat. It's flat.
Where is the curvature?
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 Flat.
Where is the curvature? Where is the curvature? Where is the curvature? Where is the flat Earth? Where? On the flat Earth. Where is the curvature? Where? Where is the curvature? Where? Where is the curvature? On the flat Earth.
Thanks to modern editing techniques, we can use existing footage to
go with the flat Earth
YouTube thing. And somebody was talking about how they think it's actually possible that the world is flat.
Seamless, huh?
Kane's Scottish heraldic law, providing evidence of Donald Trump's deep Anglophilia, I would say, and also touches upon the royal prerogative. There we have the double-headed eagle representing his Scottish Germanic heritage.
The Masonic Chip program uses modern police-approved techniques to create a child identification kit.
And we take fingerprints. We also provide them with a swab for getting a DNA swab, and we also provide them with imprint where they can get an imprint of the child's teeth. So not only does it provide DNA as well as a swab, but it is also a source if you were using tracking dogs to provide a scent for the child.
You may be surprised to see who we found using tricks to cover up their license plates.
Apparently, they're law enforcement.
You know, in Hollywood and in the industry and the stuff we do, there's a lot of like insider secrets to keeping your career going, and a lot of insider secrets to making things tick.
This new flat world platform is this: iron rule of the flat world. Whatever can be done will be done, because so many people now have so much communication done. If YouTube can be done, what a great flat world story.
Yeah. OT. T.O. Oh man, I just made this beat. Yeah. You in my crowd. I ain't get fucked up, but she still in my style. Yeah. Standing on flat earth, I hear my angels loud. And I met you with my eyes, I see you in the crowd. But she still love my style. I can't hate the past if I'm gon' love it now. I see figure heads moving through the clouds. Cheddar long, I feel like y'all coming out the south. Compound, but it's salty hell. I pull up in that demon butter with a chocolate spouse. Had to tell that good trap, just meet me at the house. That's the trap if you get respect when you show love, not when you showing out. Can I make this out to you? Got a big gon' break me down. 100 degrees, I'm college proof. I'm in my pocket now. I need the seams to follow through. Gon' bust it down. Yeah, great, don't rush this sound. Drip sauce all on the ground. Standing on flat earth, I hear my angels loud. I met you with my eyes, I see you in the crowd. I can't hate the past if I'm gon' love it now. I see fake heads moving through the clouds. Cheddar long, I feel like y'all coming out the south.
Knew when I was 5 years old this is what I wanted to do.
Do you remember first having that thought and why?
Oh yes, I was in first grade class, and our principal came out and stopped our class and pulled out this old black and white television set and turned it on and said, "This is history about to start, and you need to be present and witness this at the start of history about to be made." It was the Apollo 7 mission, and it was the first of the manned missions to the moon. And I remember watching that, and I already wanted to be a pilot and wanted to fly airplanes. And looking at that rocket lifting off from the pad and heading off into the sky, and thinking, boy, can I be a pilot and do that? And I remember my dad telling me, oh yeah, you can do both those. And after that, it was just done. That was where I was headed. This etch patch here was basically signifying the construction of the International Space Station. We have on the corner there this torch. It's the flame of knowledge, and it signifies education, that torch of knowledge being passed from generation to generation in honor of Krista McAuliffe, who had gone up beforehand.
We're at 32 minutes till launch. You were just in this hot seat.
At this point, honestly, I was probably asleep at 32 minutes prior to launch. CERN was sleeping through the the communications check. And I told Barbara, primary mission during countdown was to slap me to make communications check. With me on the middeck, we're all asleep.
Astronaut of the European Space Agency, Italian nationality. Before becoming an astronaut, I was a pilot or a test pilot. And before becoming a test pilot, I was a scientist. Space is the future. So it is very important for children to continue to use, every time I interact with students, and the possibility that space will give to us. I have a say for them. Every time I interact with students or even children, I use an Italian expression. I will now use Italian and then I will translate. I used to say, a piccoli passi verso il futuro. In translating, this means small steps. The NASA Italian version is called Hesperia, an old Greek name that it was used by the Greeks to identify Italy. In fact, you could see the red and the white that represent.
Of course, it's a NASA patch. This is 16 mission which flew in December. If astronauts happens to be your dream, you should be doing something in the area of science, technology, or medicine, mathematics, something like that. It can kind of show that you're good.
We have a go for main engine start. T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Booster ignition and liftoff of Discovery, hoisting harmony to the heavens and opening new gateways for international science. Discovery has cleared the towers.
Houston now controlling.
Roger, roll, Discovery.
Discovery's roll maneuver is complete. Is now in a heads-down position on track for its flight to the International Space Station. Discovery 7 miles downrange at an altitude of 2 statute miles. Flying at 600 miles per hour.
T-minus 16 seconds. Sound suppression water system has been activated, protecting Discovery and launch pad from physical energy. We have a
countdown to Commander.
4, 3.
Oh my God.
1. Booster ignition and liftoff of Discovery.
Woo!
And of course, you have Discovery, the shuttle that will be carrying up Node 2, which has the name of Harmony. And several students across the country came up with this name, and it was then selected, and it's very appropriate. It's going to be, Harmony will be joining together Columbus and the GEM, the Japanese module. So it's very appropriately named. It's represented by these red points on the star to the gold area, and so that's what's symbolized there. Again, you see the astronaut symbol with the three, the Apollo and Mercury and Gemini programs coming together with that lower Earth orbit swoosh, and of course all the names of the folks that are involved with this flight. So that's the STS-120 patch. So this is my class patch, and it was designed by one of my classmates. It captures a lot of different things. Of course, we have the Earth and then looking to return to the moon and go on to Mars. We have the astronaut symbol, which shows the 3 programs that originally started, Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo, coming together. The lower Earth orbit is the loop, and we're going to space. The background constellation, there's a star for each member in my class, and it is Carina, which is the keel of the boat of the Argonauts. So the Argonauts explore the ocean, the astronauts explore the sky. Of course, we have the book because there were 3 teachers in my class, but all of us pursued knowledge, and then that's what got us the jobs. We have a star here on Florida because we've launched currently from Florida. And we also made sure to keep Japan in our world map because 3 of the astronauts in my class were from Japan. also you can see the two flags then, the Japanese and the American flag. And in Latin it says, we come for the sake of exploring, teaching, and inspiring. Things that challenged me was math and science. They weren't the easiest subjects for me to grasp, but I worked really hard and they interested me because they challenged me. So I hope kids will choose things that make them think hard, that they love, and then go pursue it. And in their pursuit, there'll be times when things are not easy, but just to keep after it because it's worth the work, it's worth the challenge.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen around the corner. You just never know. I never really thought about what it might be like to be a National Geographic photographer, for example.
And that, my liege, is how we know the Earth to be banana-shaped. This new learning amazes me, Sir Bedivere. Explain again how... And that, my liege, is how we know the Earth to be banana-shaped. And that, my liege, is how we know the Earth to be banana-shaped. This new learning amazes me, Sir Bedivere. Know the Earth to be banana-shaped. This new learning amazes me, Sir Bedivere. Explain again your... And that, my liege, is how we know the Earth to be banana-shaped.
He basically said, I want you to go sell LNG like the world looks flat. Go get this done. Here's what he said when I was sitting in his office getting interviewed back in December of 2016. He said, Perry, here's what I want you to do, like the world looks flat. Go get this done. Here's what he said when I was sitting in his office, like the world looks flat. He basically said, like the world looks flat. Go get this done. Here's what he said when I was sitting in his office getting interviewed back in December of 2016. He said, Perry, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go get this done. Here's what he said when I was sitting in his office. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to... How dare you? Go do. How dare you? What we've done. He basically said, gee, like the world looks flat.
Waka waka. No, I mean it. He was the very best, as sure as the Earth is round.
You don't believe that, Coach.
No, you know, I never used to believe it, Sam, till I saw those pictures from the space shuttle. No, I mean it. He was the very best, as sure as the Earth is round.
You don't believe that, Coach.
No, you know, I never used to believe it, Sam, till I saw those pictures from the space shuttle.
People thinking about the Earth.
And asking the question, could the Earth be flat?
This guy walks up to me, looks me right in the eye, gives me one of these. He goes, you got any gum?
No, I mean it. He was the very best, as sure as the Earth is round.
You don't believe that, Coach.
No, you know, I never used to believe it, Sam, till I saw those pictures from the space shuttle.
What's your problem?
You've spoken about Richard Feynman.
I like what Richard Feynman says about this. Some people say, how can you live without knowing? I do not know what they mean. I always live without knowing.
Curiosity as to where we are, what we are, is very much more exciting to discover we're on a ball, half of it sticking upside down. It's spinning around in space. It's a mysterious force which holds us on. It's going around a great big glob of gas that's burning fueled by a fire that's completely different than the fire, any fire we can make. Well, now we can make that fire, nuclear fire. But that's a much more exciting story to many people.
Let's bring back one of those clips, please.
It's very much more exciting to discover we're on a ball, half of it sticking upside down. It's spinning around in space. It's a mysterious force which holds us on. It's going around a great big glob of...
We are going to dive.
I think last time we spoke, we ran out of time.
Into the gap between...
Dives in between.
What we learned about textbooks on Saturn.
That has essentially rewritten the books on Saturn. Guys, it is just there. But the best is still yet to come, perhaps. But we are certainly going to provide more excitement.
If we started with a small book, a little novella that was about... We now have a solid 3-volume Baedeker guide. But in the end, we're going to have an encyclopedia. In the end, we will have 100 books, maybe.
To make measurements that you just can't make things. and looking at the North Polar hexagon, direct measurements of the particles and the radiation belt in this region, a whole host of unique science in the grand finale.
That is easy. How you get to know is what I want to know. You know?
A couple 100 million years, that could be 1 billion years. There's a big argument about that, and very, very intelligent people on both sides of the case.
And now here we stand on the brink of the grand finale. In so many ways, the grand finale is like a brand new mission. We're going to a place from these grand finales.
The spectacular ending, the grand finale, going out in a blaze of glory, is a phenomenal conclusion. Just a chapter. The book is not complete. There's more to come.
I love knowledge. You know, to me, knowledge is power. It's so empowering to know the truth and to really understand something. Boy, when you understand, when you come to study something and you come to understand it, you know, even if it's just a little discovery that you make and you come to understand it on your own, it feels, it's like the greatest high.
There is a lot more to come. Took the stuff that I got everywhere. Was it fully appreciated when it's at a temperature of 32 degrees? I believe that has some significance.
Well, he broke a globe and...
The world is flat.
We got you by the balls.
And that dude who jumped out of a perfectly good balloon, what's his name? Felix Baumgartner. But the honesty of it would greatly diminish. You don't see the curvature of the earth. Above this beach ball. Above this beach ball.
We got you by the balls.
He just don't. Above this beach ball. That stuff is flat. Millimeters above this beach ball.
We got you by the balls.
He just don't. That stuff is flat.
Katrina and Megan Batur from Montreal asked, "Hi, Chris. Hello. How do you clean up a mess in space?" Good question, because it's not going to fall on the floor. It's not going to fly up into the air. It's just going to float around until it runs into something. So let's make a little mess. Let's squirt some water as if it got away here. So those little drops are kind of departing, and then I've got a ball of water here just floating around. Got to clean it up. What am I going to do? So you look for a dry rag. You grab a rag. And we could grab a Russian rag. Here's a nice Russian rag. Here, get it out. My ball of water is still just floating there, fortunately. When we get to space, there's no gravity to pull all the stuff out of our head. And so we get sort of a swollen head. I can fly, I can go all different directions, I can... Pour le santé des astronautes, pour moi, c'est parfait.
Hi, my name is Katrina.
Nassholes, I call them.
Here at the top says, to WW.
We're ready to hang out with you guys. Welcome aboard.
Back to the moon, the Artemis program. We're going to be there in 5 years.
Kyrie Irving, who plays for the Cavaliers, he recently said that he believes the world is flat. Is that a subject that you covered with him? Were you aware of that?
Word, is that what you think? Is that what you say?
I don't know. I guess maybe he just kind of...
Understand the philosophy behind the flat Earth theory. Could be flat, could not be flat. There could be 12 continents. How would you know?
That's a matter of how we draw it up.
Fly in one direction, you'll come back around, which in a flat world.
True. That is true.
The thing is, there is no space. That's what people mean by NASA stealing money. S-T-E-E-L-I-N-G. Stealing money. The sun and the moon are inside the firmament. Solid dome created by God on the second day to divide the primal sea, called Tahom, into upper and lower portions so that the dry land could appear.
Especially as we start going deeper into space, which is going to be very important as we go back to Mars in the next 5 years.
One of the neat things about video is that you can edit out all these things when you goon it up, you know.
We were going to talk about the wrestling match recently on SmackDown between Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles on this program today. I had not had a chance to see it as of when we recorded the drive-through because it had just happened, and I said, well, that sounds good, and I want to see that. And honestly, two things prevented me. Well, three things. One was a lack of time with everything that's been going on this week. Secondly, was the on-demand feature for my Fox SmackDown series, whatever, on cable. You couldn't fast forward the thing. Well, the fast forward moves at like a snail's pace, but you can't fast forward the commercials at all. And I was not going, I knew that the match was on the last hour, correct? I figured that it'd be the main event. Point is, I wasn't going to go all the way through that for that. And thirdly, and most importantly, we talked about AJ Styles, and I tried to make excuses for AJ being a Republican. I said, well, he's small town. He was raised that way, right? It wasn't his fault, you know, et cetera.
Religious.
Just because he's religious and you know, small town, that's why he's Republican. But now apparently a bunch of people on Twitter told me that AJ Styles thinks the earth is flat. Is this true?
I probably know what you know, but I have heard the same thing. And then I saw this clip that someone sent me of him and Daniel Bryan talking about it on some WWE show. I'm not even sure what it was.
Was it the backstage thing, or it was something they did where they're supposedly still in character, but it's supposed to be a shoot, kind of a mixed work shoot thing?
Well, backstage, it was something else, though.
Okay.
The earth is flat. So.
Flat earthers. The world is flat. An ice wall around the outside.
Like a stuffed crust pizza.
Like a rolling stone.
Round like home. Round like home.
Lesson. Tell them earth is flat and then simply answer their questions. Truth doesn't fear investigation. We're letting them control the whole nation with this stupid little lie. Man, the earth is not a ball. Don't blink, try to think for yourself. You'll see flat earth is the only missing link. All the news is just set out to distract you. yourself in the gut. They're trying to attack you. Nothing we can do about it. Only we can listen.
That's going to cause a little confusion.
Schadenfreude is a German word that describes pleasure derived from someone else's misfortune.
What's it like in space? As if it was a secret. And space belongs to all of us. And I'd like to help you understand why it's a place that is magic. Kabunk. And we are weightless. And the mission and the magic begin. My favorite part about living up there was the flying. I loved it. It was like being Peter Pan. So we take our urine, we store it, we filter it, and then we drink it. And it's actually delicious.
The emissions issue in Europe. And he basically said, I want you to go sell LNG like the world looks flat. He basically said, I want you to go sell LNG like the world looks flat. He basically said, I want you to go sell LNG like the world looks flat.
Circumnavigation is really just a flat circle path. Gravity as we know it simply doesn't exist.
The sailor thinks that he's traveling around the Earth this way, when in effect he's traveling around the Earth this way.
It has happened
Joe,
in the past.
I hear you. I don't want to be right about.
And there was much rejoicing.
Is the stuff we have now 100 years ago because. I don't know. Well, I don't know what they are.
The way I describe this is the same way I talk about jujitsu.
Let me tell you something.
Lagoon, meaning I. The
Let me tell you something.
I. Flat, flat. Flat, flat.
We're trying to move towards the future. They want to be stuck in the past.
Flat. It is a three-dimensional flat, flat.
Let me tell you something. And we've heard this kind of thinking before. We're trying to move towards the future. Let me tell you something.
There are still an enormous number of things left to find, so keep searching, keep looking.
Let me tell you something.
Flat, flat.
The one thing to remember here, if you're making still water, it's always flat, always level.
If I say that the world is round, someone else says it's flat.
We'll sell out every day like we'll be on the winning team.
That's word for word. But it might also
Yet in holding scientific
Flat, flat.
we don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society. Send humans to orbit Mars and further make the Earth. Landing on Mars will
Flat, flat.
across the land. And no matter our color,
If I say that the
or
world
the
is
blood,
round,
the color of the
someone else
blood
says it's
we
flat.
bleed,
That's worth reporting.
are equal, totally equal in the eyes.
I'm not representing the globe. I'm representing.
Much of science today seems to support the notion that the world is round.
I recently got a deal on some plasma globes on eBay. Well, they are pretty neat. I feel like with the right modifications, it's flat.
The world is flat.
Go get this done.
The world is
Get out of here, too.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
So when you're at 35,000 feet, that's above the Himalayas.
Yeah.
You are up there, and there's on average 35,000 feet. This is NASA statistics, so it's probably not true. 10 feet of water and 6 inches of stone. Because there's